Hi everybody, Tom Trams with Linux MCE, and this is kind of a detour from my usual videos. I'm doing a quick little walkthrough of the Nokia Lumia 800 that I received as a developer unit. As you can see here, very distinctive body design, polycarbonate chassis here. I've actually got the slip cover on it. But even with the slip cover off, the unit doesn't feel like plastic. It's got some substantial weight to it. Feels very nice in the hands. Very easy to use, and I can see definitely quite durable. Excellent aesthetic design, as I've seen from the N9 and other devices like it. Nokia has really one-upped Apple on this one. So I'm going to go ahead and power this guy on now. Pressing the power button here. It vibrates to let me know that it's starting up. We see a Nokia splash, and in a few moments we'll see a logo for Windows Phone here. Right now I don't have a SIM card in it, so it's basically saying, you don't have a SIM card, but you can probably still make an emergency phone call. Nope, not going to. Close off. As we can see here, the Windows Phone home screen here. The one thing that you don't particularly see with the camera here is that this is an OLED display. The colors here are extremely vibrant. The blue is true blue. Black is very black. Green is green. The intense colors are just that. They're just very basic but not overpowering. As you can see here, dual-core CPU used to great effect to basically handle the animations and whatnot, and the operating system. As you may know, Windows Phone only runs on the Qualcomm Snapdragon processors. So, here we go. Phone functions, as we take and go into a section, as you can see, nice animation, nice transition, everything keeps up quite nicely. And the thing to really note here with Windows Phone, the interface is very basic and utilitarian. It's designed by utter minimalism. Lots of emphasis on large typography. I see a lot of Helvetica, just basic Helvetica narrow here. Normal. Or maybe it's their Arial font. Not quite sure. I'll have to see what they're actually using for their fonts. But as you can see, just basic type, lots of emphasis on text and little emphasis on iconography. Social networking integration. And one thing to really note here, too, Microsoft has really taken the idea of the panable user interface and taken it to an absolute extreme. Everything just kind of pans over, and there's a parallax effect happening with the text, which is interesting. Something I haven't seen before, but as a typographer, I find myself I find myself ticked because the text is actually bleeding off the screen. Now, I do understand that they're using this to indicate that you can scroll forward, but at the same time, okay, yeah, whatever. Going back, of course, hits the tiles. Clicking the arrow buttons here brings up what amounts to an app list or a search bar. Camera, decent camera, and a nice simplistic interface. Nothing too out of the ordinary here. Email client. And again, with the email client, emphasis on text. Basically, iconography has been completely replaced with large text. Now, the thing to note here, when I click on a threaded discussion right here, it opens up the discussion and doesn't open up the message. Going into it, though, lots of little zoomy, blurry things going on here. And the one thing I really like about the N9 is the ability to swipe over to get to the next message. That's not available here. I have to take and hit here. Go to the next message, and so on. HTML mail format's okay. Some mails format better than others. Let's see what else. Of course, Nokia Drive here, and I haven't really touched this yet, so we'll see how this actually works out. Okay. We can probably try to install that. And actually, wow. Okay, so it's installing something and it's going to take a little bit to do that, so I won't want to do that. Now, the one thing I really want here, and the one thing that this phone doesn't have, is a real semblance of multitasking. So instead, I have to stop what I'm doing here, and there's no indication that this thing is still running here. So, slightly confusing, I think. But actually, okay, so it actually is going on in the background. Okay. Picture view. Again, emphasis on text. Basic set here. Go into albums. And I've synchronized with Facebook here, so we see the different pictures from my Facebook. Going in. See the pictures. Flipping over, of course. Tiles them over. And trying to do this one-handed is interesting, to say the least. But the user interface seems to be pretty responsive. Clicking on me basically just gives me a nice place to be able to post messages or go quickly to things that are in my Facebook, what's new, things from my profile pages, etc. All things from Facebook. And again, we see the same paradigm going on here with the parallax scrolling to flip things across. Calendar. Very basic calendar. This is being synchronized over from my Google account. Again, major things over here. And related bits for this here. Etc. But again, Microsoft is definitely going for an integrated approach, kind of like what Nokia is doing with the N9. But yeah, well, as to its efficacy, we'll see definitely in time. But yeah, well, that's about what I really wanted to show here with this phone. All in all, a good device. I think that Nokia did dump themselves with the N9 because it was a fantastic phone that could have sold itself on its own merits. But at the same time here, this phone is okay. It's probably one of the better Microsoft UIs that I've seen in a long time. Well, I guess that's it for now. Until next time, guys. See you later.